But you see my point. I mean, Mahomes, he had weapons. Best tight end in the league, top 7 receiver in Tyreek Hill. But he got slaughtered because he had no O-line. Because his O-line was injured. So... And, O-linemen last for a while, too. Like, they're the longest lasting position, I think. And you can have a B O-lineman. You don't even have to knock it out. Knock it out of the park. You have to knock the quarterback out of the park and have to knock the coach out of the park, but you don't have to knock the lineman out of the park, so it's really, you shouldn't underestimate it. And that leads me to my next point, which is the mock drafts that I will be doing. I'm going to be honest and say that I did involve a trade, even though I said I don't like trades, and I still don't. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it's common sense to, make some sort of trade with the Broncos, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna involve a trade because I don't know. I don't want to pick Kyle Pitts so high or Micah Parsons so high. So let's get this going. So if I were GM, I think it's all but locked that the Jets and Jaguars are gonna take Lawrence and Wilson. So I'm gonna keep those as locks, and I would draft Trevor Lawrence at number 1. I don't know if I'd draft Zach Wilson at 2, though. So, but those are the first 2 picks, Lawrence and Wilson. Get that out of the way. Hey, Yankees scored. 3-1. I actually have something to say about the Yankees. I'll talk about that later. Number 3 is Trey Lance. If I were in the Niners, I'd definitely take Trey Lance. It's not really his fault he didn't get to compete this year. I think he's a great athlete, great thrower over the football. And the scouting report on him is very similar to Patrick Mahomes. And you put him with Kyle Shanahan, like they put Mahomes with Andy Reid. I think anyone with Kyle Shanahan will succeed, even Mac Jones. Because he has a system that is, perfect. So, I think Trey Lance, and I think they go with Trey Lance. Because, he just seems like a freak athlete. He seems better than Mac Jones. And, again, he gets with Kyle Shanahan. It just seems perfect. Number 4, I'm projecting a trade. I hate it, but I'm doing it. Justin Fields. I think he's a great athlete. He seems like a natural leader, just like Trey Lance. Trey Lance seems like a good leader, but Justin Fields, he seems like a natural leader. He seems like a great athlete. I don't know if these reports are true or not about him not being very passionate and not having a good work ethic. But I'm just gonna, if I were GM, it's either him or Mac Jones. So, if you're looking for someone to replace Drew Lock, then, why not start with a guy who seems like a great athlete, great leader? I think Justin Fields is a great pick for them. At 5, I'm going Rashawn Slater. Don't overthink it. A lot of people are saying Penei Sewell, but I think out of all their offensive linemen, they don't really need left tackle, and that's what he is. That's what Penei Sewell is. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, if I were a GM, I would take Rashawn Slater. Why I say I'm going out on a limb, I don't even know. But I don't think he. I think Penei Sewell. I'll tell you where I think Penei Sewell's going. So, here. So, alright. Number 6, I'm switching it up a bit. I'm gonna say, if I'm the Dolphins, take Kyle Pitts. A lot of the experts are saying the Dolphins should do this. And I'm just gonna go with my gut and say it, because I guess they should. I've been saying Penei Sewell, because I do think they need some O-linemen. But I guess if you can get generational talent like Kyle Pitts is, go with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going Kyle Pitts. Get two or more weapons. This way, it's definitely his fault if he loses. At 7, I got the Lions taking Penei Sewell. Like I said, these weapons are nothing if you don't pick O-linemen. So I think they pick Penei Sewell to protect Jared Goff. I know they lost Kenny Galladay, and that is rough. But at least he has T.J. Hawkinson. Yay. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It really is. So, alright, with the 8th pick, the Panthers, I think they get Sam Darnold another weapon with Jamar Chase, a generational talent at receiver. I think it's perfect. I think it fits. They can't get Kyle Pitts. They can't get another left tackle in Penei Sewell. It was between Jamar Chase or Elijah Vera-Tucker. I think Vera-Tucker falls a bit. At number 9, the Falcons, they take Micah Parsons, best defender in the draft, definitely. He's just talented. He can do a lot on the defensive end. He seems like he can get almost guaranteed quality in pass rushing, edge rushing, and being a linebacker in general. So, number 9, Micah Parsons. Cowboys are going to take Patrick Surtain. I love J.C. Horn, too. I think he's great. And, hey, it's tie game. Alright. But I think he's the best corner in the draft. I think J.C. Horn's a close second. I'm going to give Surtain the nudge, though, at number 10 with the Cowboys. Alright. So, Howie Roseman. By the way, coming up, is there anything to look forward to? I'll kind of do a this or that kind of thing. I guess, like, I got Flacco or Hurts, Nets or the field. I got some good questions coming up, so we'll see what happens there. So, Howie Roseman says there's nothing off the table. When they asked him about, are you going to take a quarterback? You had a chance to get a top-tier quarterback in either Fields or Trey Lance, and you passed on it. So I'm guessing that I'm guessing since you traded out of the 6th pick, you're not doing that, and you're getting him weapons. Unless you're planning on taking Mac Jones. That would just be stupid. I just don't understand what they're doing, because Wentz had problems with Doug Peterson. And they fired Doug Peterson because of that. And then, when they fired Doug Peterson, basically for Carson Wentz, they traded Wentz. And then when they're saying they like Hurts, they're saying, actions speak louder than words, right? Because I don't know. Their actions are basically the act of a rebuild. They're looking for weapons. They look like they got the right quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and now they're just getting weapons for him. Looks like they're trying to back out of the fact that they're doing a rebuild, but basically are. You're getting weapons for him, and you're firing your coach and you're training your quarterback. That's a rebuild. The Jets did the exact same thing. They fired their coach and they traded their quarterback. So I think they're rebuilding. I guess they just don't want to say they are. I don't know. So I saw an interesting comparison by what's his name, Bubba or something on Greeny, Mike Greenberg. Yankees are like the Ravens. They can't really come back, even though they're kind of coming back right now. It's 3-3. Here's the problem with the Yankees right now. They're following analytics and not numbers. The analytics is what they're using analytics to win baseball, and that doesn't work. So, that's why they're losing right now. Because if they're not hitting home runs, they're not winning. And that's just simply not true. Do the Dodgers lead the league in home runs? Do the Dodgers lead the league in home runs? They're the best team in the league right now. Do they lead the league in home runs? Yeah, they're 14-4. Let's see. Do they lead the league in home runs? No, they're tied for 8th. So, if you look at the numbers and not analytics, you would structure your team much better. And they're tied for 23rd in homers when they're trying to listen to analytics. So, I mean, really, you should really start looking at following numbers. And I don't know, what is going to happen here with the Yankees. I'm guessing they're still going to finish, like, second in the division at least. Blue Jays may finish first, I'm guessing. I don't know. But it's like the Ravens. They're not coming back. And the reason they're getting down is because they're not listening to numbers. They're listening to analytics. So, that's their problem right there. And it's very solvable. Especially so early in the year. I am not going to be so mad about the Yankees until Game 40. They have until Game 40. And think about this. How many games are there after? Okay, so 17 games in. Okay, 23 games. If they win 12 of those 23 games, they will be 18-22. All right, not bad. I would not be mad. I would not be mad about that. So, NFL draft again. I'm going to talk about that again because it's. I think I'm going to love the week after draft. After draft week, I'm going to love it probably. Especially my opinions on my Packers, what they did, what Brian Gutekunst did. I don't know what he's going to do. Brian Gutekunst, he put together such a crappy draft class. He's had one good pick, and that was Jair Alexander. And maybe Darnell Savage, but if there's a running back that I think for the NFL draft, if there's a running back you like honestly, if I were the Dolphins, I wouldn't do it now, but beforehand, I would have traded back to get Najee Harris somehow. In the top 20, get Najee Harris. But they've traded back enough already, so I would just, you just stay put. Now, because you just stay put and take Kyle Pitts or Penei Sewell, one of those two. But if there's a running back in the first round that I like, I would take him. They're gonna last you only a couple of years. So you gotta make sure you get the right guy for those couple of years. Otherwise, you're just wasting them. So. If I were to, I don't know, if I had a high pick in the draft, I would trade back, at least in this year's draft, trade back to get either Travis Etienne or Najee Harris. One of those two. They're clearly the two best running backs in the draft. And even Javonte Williams, there's a lot of good running backs in this draft class, so any team in the top 25, top 15, don't joke about getting Javonte